All right, so today we began history for the year, actually learning about history beyond just getting to know everybody. And this is actually one of the best units of the year. I love this. So this is sourcing history, finding out how do we know what really happened. Kids ask that all the time, right? How do we know what it's 1,000 years ago? How do you know what happened? It's a great question. It's not just what one textbook says happened, because that's really not how history happens, right? So to explore this, we're going to take a look at an event that could happen in real life, and then later on we'll be applying these ideas to historical events. So when you look at what happened, we want to judge our evidence on who is telling us the information. Are they biased? Do they have an opinion about this? Do they care about the people involved? Did they see it with their own eyes? Did they hear about it? Did they live at the time period around when this happened? Are they telling you a long time after the fact? Did multiple people's stories line up? They corroborate each other. So we've got our key terms here. Evidence, that's the information. Sources, these are the people telling us the information. Corroboration is when two different stories line up, they agree. So if one person says something happened and another person's story has the same information or elements of it, parts of it, they corroborate each other, and that's important. Sometimes, like people on the opposite ends of a battle, if they both report one specific thing happened, then that's a good way to say that very well may have gone on. Contextualizing, so where did it happen? When did it happen? Plausibility, just how believable is it? And then we've got bias, right? Do you have a pre-existing opinion about the events or a person? Okay, so here's the setup like we learned in class here. There's been a fight in the lunchroom. There's been a fight in the lunchroom. Unless you're brawling with your brother right now or sister, that's probably not happening. But back at school, there's a fight in the lunchroom. You are the principal, and you must suspend one of the kids that was in the fight. Max and Justin are the two kids. So you're going to read the evidence. You've called a whole bunch of people into your office because you're the principal, and you've interviewed them. They've told you what they thought, and now you have to pick out what really happened based on who's telling you the information, who's believable, and all those factors that we talked about today in class with that PowerPoint. All right, so let's take a look. You're going to have to write a suspension report later, but today you're not trying to determine the guilt of the kids. Today you're trying to judge which pieces of evidence are believable and how come, and which ones aren't. So click on this right here, this link, and it takes you to this. This is your copy. You're going to be highlighting and writing on this. So lunchroom fight evidence sheet. Type in your name, type in the date. Here's the background, just what I told you. You're the principal who's trying to figure the truth out in a lunchroom fight. It's between Justin and Max. Justin is new to the school. He's shy, he's quiet, doesn't have a lot of friends. He moved in last month because his dad was hired to take over the town's main business. And Justin's dad had to fire a lot of people, including Max's parents, when he reorganized the business. Max, he's lived in town a long time. He's a popular kid who is known for his friendliness and good humor. In the past few weeks, however, he's been withdrawn and somewhat depressed. That's the backstory. Now, for this assignment, today what you need to do is you're going to read each of the pieces of evidence from what the kids said, and I want you to annotate, right? Annotate is when you write your thoughts onto the page. Here you're just going to be typing. So this is what I want you to think about. Who is reporting the evidence, and what's their relationship to the people in the fight? If it's a lunch lady telling you that something happened, she probably doesn't know the kids, right? She's removed, as opposed to like one of these guys' girlfriends or best friends or their parents. That might influence how believable they are. So who's doing the reporting? Does this person, what they say, corroborate or agree with something else you've heard from somebody else? how believable is the evidence based on the person's location and their relationship to these kids and what's going on in town. All right, so today I want you to read each of these pieces of evidence, and then I want you to highlight passages in the text that you think are important. And then in addition to highlighting, the important thing then is you type up your thoughts about why is that important? What does that tell me about what happened, right? So type up your thoughts in red right on the page here and highlight the things that you think are important. Okay? So we've got Justin, Max, the two kids that fought, Eric, Max's good friend, Anthony is a bystander. That means just somebody who was standing around, someone who happened to be there. They weren't involved. Megan, that's Max's girlfriend, a cafeteria worker, and Max's mom, Justin's dad. Jamie is just a kid in the English class. She's not really friends with either of them, but Jamie has been observing what's been happening in class. And lastly, the English teacher. Okay, so you are annotating today. Down below is this chart. You don't have to worry about the chart today. Just I'll put a little stop sign there or something. Just today, read the evidence, highlight what you think is important and telling about who may have started it, what pieces of evidence they give you, and then type in red your thoughts about that. Okay, so we're focusing on what's their relationship to the people. Do what they say, does that line up with something you may have heard from somebody else? And how might they be biased, right? Based on their relationship to the person. Okay, so today you're going to annotate that, and later on we'll be filling out that chart, and then you will be suspending one of those kids. All right, so have a great day, and fill out the chart there with your annotations, and we will get into this more later. All right.